Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a great weekend. I just wanted to hop on real quick and do a very quick book review on this year, Dan Jones, Powers and Thrones, A New History of the Middle Ages. Firstly, I'll just start by saying that I buy all of the books that I read. I am not sent anything for review, so these are my honest thoughts and opinions. Um, I think if you've watched my previous videos, you'll know how much I do love Dan Jones' work, his previous work, but I'll try to be as honest and objective with each new book that I review. So firstly, this book is rather large, a chunker, if you will, but it does cover the 1,000-year history or period that we call the Middle Ages. This book, I'll firstly say, was published in 2021, the end of 2021. I think it was released October or November, and this is a Head of Zeus Limited book. So as I say, it is quite large, but this is a narrative history and there's a lot of summary. I think he did a great job of choosing what to select in terms of what warranted discussion and review in terms of the Middle Ages. So of course it does begin with the sack of Rome and finishes with the Protestant Reformation and exploration to the New Worlds. So it does follow, rightly so, and obviously the chronological events that took place in the Middle Ages. But what I did really like is he groups it, if you can see. While it does follow chronological history, each chapter is titled a particular group of individuals. So Romans, Franks, Mongols, merchants, scholars, builders. So I really do like the fact that there is a sense of agency there in terms of political and social change regarding the groups of people that did shape the Middle Ages. Of course, it's called Powers and Thrones, so there is a heavy focus on the individuals who shaped the Middle Ages. But he also, in this book, doesn't necessarily ignore environmental and climate factors that also had a huge impact on the way, the trajectory of the Middle Ages. So this is very Eurocentric, with the exception of the Arabs and the Mongols, which had a huge impact on Europe during the Middle Ages. But what I did like is his deep analysis of the Mongols and the Arabs, because I think when you do look at other books on the Middle Ages, if the authors are of a Eurocentric background, then you're not really going to see as much in-depth analysis of, say, the Mongols. So I did appreciate that. One thing that it doesn't necessarily bother me, but I suppose this is a pet peeve. There seems to be a tendency recently in publishing these days where, there's a subtitle here, A New History. And I wouldn't necessarily call this a new history. Nothing that Dan Jones says is newly discovered necessarily, but I think what he does do, or what he achieves, is, of course, putting his own spin and interpretation on events. He does write a lot of popular history, and I think that is his greatest talent, making books enjoyable to read, making history enjoyable to readers. But he also this book has a very contemporary feel. He does a lot of comparison to modern events. There's a lot of Trump references in here, but I think for me personally, there's going to be a point where, a book that's called A New History isn't going to be new anymore. There must be like at least 10 books that I've got in my collection. Here's one. Here's another book, A New History of Humanity. I think there's one on my Kindle called A New History of Colonization. That's just a problem that I've got with the subtitle, but that's such a minor issue. And I think he does achieve his goal of making this a contemporary read on the Middle Ages for readers of today. So all in all, I'd give this book, I couldn't find much fault with it. I think it was a great narrative history. I think it was enjoyable, but balanced with, scholarship. I think he did a great job focusing on other areas of the Middle Ages that you don't necessarily see in other curricula, particularly this broader look at the Mongols. And yeah, it just had a fresh modern feel to it. So I would probably give this between a 4.5 to 5 star review. So anyways, I hope you found that useful. It's quite a large book, and it wasn't cheap. It was about £20 when I bought it. I just wanted to mention that because obviously if you were going to pick it up, I would say this does come highly recommended, and I do think it's worth every penny. If you're like me, you normally wait till things are reduced in price, but this is one of the books that I was looking forward to as a new release. And I am glad that I purchased it for full price. So anyways, I'll stop rambling on. I hope you enjoyed this. If you do pick it up, let me know what you think, and have a great weekend, BookTube. Bye.